Actually, right, when I first came in to radio about almost 6 years ago, a veteran DJ said to me, try not leave like so soon. Like this place.
I remember this conversation. You were at
we
my
had
house.
this conversation.
Hi, Zazel!
Hey, Tizera.
And welcome back to another episode of Clarity's Okay, before I delve into today's episode, I want to first introduce our special guest, and she's none other than Nabila!
Wow, that was really loud. Hi everyone. Thank you very much for having me.
Nabila, please tell our viewers and listeners more about yourself. Well, I do know that you're close friends with Azura.
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Nabila Jalal. I am the founder of boutique piano studio called NJ Studio. I also co-founded Artsy, which is a multi-level music mentoring program where we work together with a welfare home and we teach them how to play musical instruments.
Wow, sounds like you're really into music.
I guess I am. I mean, two businesses with that, I guess I have to do it.
Well, this is what we're exactly going to talk about today. Not music per se, but career in Singapore. And also we want to unpack what career and success means in today's term in Singapore.
Oh no.
Oh God. Oh no, right?
No, I mean, it's such a cliche question, right? But then every time I answer this question, I feel like I have a new answer to it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so, it keeps on changing. Sometimes to me, career success just means more money, right? That is a
Fair,
Singaporean
fair.
dream, right? That is what we've been brought up with.
Yeah.
But then every day it changes. Like yesterday for me, Artsy just had our graduation finale concert.
Congrats!
Thank you very much. And to me, that was what success looked like.
Yeah.
Being able to contribute back to society, being able to use my gifts and my knowledge of music to spread it with other people, especially underserved communities.
Right.
Before we even dive into that, right, let's take it like a few steps back.
The Royal College of Music.
Yes,
What
yeah.
made you decide to take that step?
Honestly, when I was doing music, when I was studying music, when I was in Singapore, I did my normal grade 1 to grade 8 exams. I was just going through the motions.
Okay.
It was really because of my diploma piano teacher. She was the one who encouraged me to pursue music. Of course, initially my mom was like, how are we going to find the money to pay off your 4 years, right? And I told her, okay, if I can get a scholarship and sponsorship, are you going to be okay with that?
All right.
And she said, okay.
Okay.
And in the end, you did
in the
find
end,
a
I did.
scholarship.
If not, dude, I will not be able to afford that, man.
How much does 4 years worth of fees look like
180?
Yeah, 100-ish.
180K?
for 4 years?
Yeah. So, of course, my mom was like, are you going to get CPF when you come back home? What are you going to be when you come back home? Very normal questions like that.
Okay, but that aside, right, when we talk about skills, and I always say that skills feed you. I think especially in the Asian culture, a lot of people focus on academics. They focus so much on that they don't see that skills at a higher level pays you more than
Yeah.
I think your paper does
Okay.
to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And until they see that you're doing well, they will think that you won't be able to feed yourself. Lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So at that point, how do you navigate that?
I just didn't care. I was like, are they going to pay my bills? No, right? Yeah. So I just live my own life lah. And what's wrong with that? Everybody will have an opinion about something.
Of course.
And it is their right to have an opinion. But what I can do is just regard it as white noise. And I ask myself sometimes, how is this going to affect me tomorrow, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years from now? If it doesn't affect me, then okay lah, bye.
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 Wow, seems
okay.
like you really see success in your career. And I think maybe our listeners and viewers can also have a thought about this. Like Zura, so what does success in terms of career mean to you?
I have never been a vertical chaser.
Like climbing up the corporate ladder, stuff
I
like
see
that.
a lot more value in lateral growth. And I think that's something that keeps me happy. So the key is that I can't drag myself.
Okay.
The minute I feel displeasure, why are you laughing?
Because it so sounds like you.
It is true. I mean, I'm not skipping the work every day, right?
Oh.
Sometimes I stare at the door and I'm like, oh, why are you still here? Right? But I think the key is that every time I feel unhappy about something, I have to tackle that quite quickly.
Okay.
Because it's something that I love. I don't want it to become something that I start dread.
Okay. For me, success in terms of my career means more eyeballs. As practical as that sounds and as on the surface as that sounds, that's true.
Yeah.
I've never also looked at my finances. I don't even track my income and tallied it to the jobs that I do. I'm not a fan of that. But to me, success means more people see my works, more people see Harsh podcasts, for example, listen to the songs I put up. But I think for a lot of people out there, success can mean a whole different world of things. Like, for example, when Nabila mentioned financial growth. Do you girls think there's a difference between job and career?
I think career is when you see it long term. You see progress in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you see it as a job, then it's just a job.
Right, I think we can actually define it this way. Do you agree?
Yeah, actually, I've never thought about it, but now that she mentioned it, I feel that career is probably something that's already embedded into your lives. A job is just something that you do every single day.
I would like to see a job as something you take up to get by. Like maybe you need the money
Yeah.
to pay rent,
Yeah.
whatever. It's just for that moment, like a uni student on his or her holiday break, taking a part-time job. But career is something, like Nabila mentioned, takes you through the rest of your life. You see fulfillment and you have a sense of achievement.
Like it enriches your life in other ways.
Yeah.
Actually, right, when I first came in to radio about almost 6 years ago, a veteran DJ said to me, try not leave like so soon. Like this place.
I remember this conversation. You were at
we
my
had
house.
this conversation.
Yes, because my mom really listens to radio,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
after that, then my mom was just asking you so many questions, and you said
Yes.
that.
Oh.
And I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, so a veteran DJ told me like, try not leave so soon because this place provides you with a career.
Did that advice come in handy at any point of your career?
Hey, I always remember.
So that I say something lah. Must be impactful enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe success is also about creating impact.
Like what you're doing.
Like what you're doing.
Oh.
Impacting the younger generation, and people
Yeah.
want to learn new instruments, right?
Yeah, and when I run Artsy, I'm not expecting all of them to become musicians. And it's fine if they don't want to be musicians. It's about the discipline, the responsibility, the togetherness, the sense of togetherness.
patience.
Correct, yeah. And you really see these boys grow. And boys, I really don't want to generalize, but they're just a different breed altogether. Especially at that age. They just want to run around
Yeah.
and getting
Create
them to
chaos.
sit down is already a huge thing. And because our practices are usually at night, 7:30 to about 10 p.m. And our younger folks, our 8, 9-year-olds, right? When we first started out, they'll be playing a gamelan and they'll be like dozing off. Because it's a bit time. But then now they're like, Kak, can we have more lessons? I'm like, I can't afford.
Oh, that's nice that they actually derive happiness now and they no
correct.
longer see it as a dread,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
To pull
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
Now, according to this Forbes article, it states that career success is a combination of achieving a reasonable level of financial stability while doing work you enjoy,
Yeah.
and then finding that you're also happy and fulfilled with your life and career choices as well.
I agree.
I dare say that, well, I think I'm at this point where I have financial stability and I have happiness as well. And I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful that I'm here. Do you think that you are in this point as well, this phase?
I agree. I feel like we're at a point, or we've been at a point where we don't really need to think before we spend.
Yeah.
Or we don't need to count at least, So I just got to do what makes me happy. And I don't really have to think about anything else because I know that'll come. But we're fortunate that way.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's your case as well, right?
Yeah, I
Nabila?
think like I've reached this concept of ikigai.
Oh,
The whole like
the whole
passion,
balance.
yeah, it's really like I'm really at an equilibrium now, which I'm very thankful for. But I do know that some people have not found that ikigai,
Yeah.
and I think we definitely need to earn some. We need financial stability.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. So let's not discount that. So when people come up to me and say, "What does career success mean to you?" Then I talk about financial stability, and they're like, "Huh? But that's not the TYS answer, right?" It is my 10-year series answer, guys. It's okay. Your financial stability is really important.
Yeah.
Without financial stability, you are unable to do other things that you want to do. For example, volunteer work. Right? Like you need to be able to have enough money for you to explore other things and help other people.
Correct. Because I feel like the only reason why I don't feel that pressure to chase or whatever it is because it's enough.
Yeah.
Obviously, more is always great.
Yeah, of course.
But we're able to say not at the expense of my sanity.
Yeah.
Correct. Some of my peers, they are working so hard from day to night. I look at her Instagram and I just feel so tired just by looking at her Instagram. Like she sleeps 4 hours a day and then she's just working from day to night and then night to day again. And she just lives her life every day latte after latte. That kind of feeling? You're like surviving by cups after cups of coffee.
You know how for a long time, especially in our generation, hustle culture was like, it's a thing.
Glorified.
Yeah.
It's glorified.
Yeah.
But it's not a flex, It really is not.
But I feel like some people do take joy in that.
Yes.
Do you think like a lot of Singaporeans chase after the so-called Singaporean dream?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I think the younger generation now, understand work-life balance a little bit better. And so their bosses are probably around our age, right? Or maybe a little bit older than us. And then when they say, oh, I don't want to work so hard. And we are all like, huh, what are you talking about? Shouldn't you be working hard? Because when we were much younger, when we first started out in our careers, we were hustling.
Oh, yeah.
Now that we're a bit older, we are financially stable. So we have the privilege, and we have privilege. We say, don't want to do it anymore. But if we take away this privilege, I think we will also still be hustling.
We will.
Yeah,
we will.
definitely.
If we had to, we would.
Just suck it up and do it, right? Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about two of my friends. They're a couple and they're married, right? They have a kid. And they're working so hard towards getting a BTO. And after they have a kid, they want to save the money on getting a helper, but they do need a car to ferry the kids around to the parents' place and back to school and back. And then I'm just thinking, for two people who perhaps fetch an average income, this might be sort of a struggle to them, don't you think?
Yeah.
To the extent that she's exploring other measures and other means to make more money. For example, starting up an online business, e-commerce platform, stuff like that. She has to hustle, but she's forced into it. Versus
I understand.
we have a choice. Like, we picked the hustling life.
Yeah.
My issue with the chase and the reason why I've never subscribed to it is because I think a lot of people tend to think, okay, I put in this amount of work or I put in this amount of years, and then when I get this, I'll enjoy this. When I get that, I'll enjoy that. But actually, who's to say that when you get somewhere, when you get something, that something else is not going to pop up? And it will be an endless chase.
Correct.
And then when do you get to enjoy it? And then who's going to say actually who told you got another 30 years to live?
Right.
Like, who guaranteed you like another 40 years? And who said that, you hustle for 30 years and then you get to enjoy your life? And then if you don't, so that I cannot get on with. And I always am on the bandwagon of, if I need to take a couple of steps back, or if I need to be a couple of steps behind you, but I get to enjoy at the same time, I'll take that any day.
Some people are so used to the hustling life that they forgot how it's like to relax and enjoy.
That's me now.
Oh my gosh, I have to
Yeah,
admit,
that's me now.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's me too. I'm trying to strike the ikigai.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
work-life balance.
Yeah.
Do you think it's tough on you?
Oh, it's really tough on me. I don't know how to relax.
Right.
Yeah.
You're constantly looking forward to the next venture, the next challenge that you overcome.
I think it's also because I put it on myself. I feel like it's my responsibility to pass on whatever blessings that I have to other people. You know, when I got that scholarship, I think it was like 500, 600K. It's a lot of money.
Wow.
You know, random people, I don't even know these people, and they believed in me and they gave me that much money. And, sometimes I look back and like, who am I to be getting this amount of money and getting this opportunity to study overseas?
Wow.
Why did people believe in me? And, I hold it upon myself to pass it on to other people. So that's the thing that keeps me going. Sometimes my best friend, my husband, the people around me, they're like, I think you need to slow down. Like, huh? What is slow down?
I see her once a year, honestly.
Dude, you're also busy.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But after all that you shared just now, Nabila, was there ever a moment where you didn't feel fulfilled in your current career?
No.
Well, I like how steadfast you put it.
No,
How
because I
confident.
know that whatever that I do, I go all out and I live life with no regrets.
As much as I think of something else, I feel like I'll never be done with this job. And I always used to say that if I ever do leave the job, that means I'm leaving the country already. Because I can't see myself being here and being able to do the job and not actually doing it.
Hey, I think you belong to this 20%. Okay.
Hey, where?
So, a report by Manpower Singapore says that 97% of Singapore respondents indicated that having meaning at work was important to them. However, only 20% of them stated that they feel very satisfied with their current level of meaning at work. And I think that's you. I think that's all three of us, actually.
Yeah, so we're part of that 20%.
Yeah.
We're the outliers, basically.
Hey, that's very low, don't you think? 20% only?
You see, skills pay you. Skills are usually where your passion lies. But at the same time, how many people really allowed you to take a back seat from your education to focus and hone these skills? Because here, at least, they tell you be done with school first, and then whatever one you want to do, you do.
Yeah.
But at 16, at 18, at whatever
How
age,
would you know?
it's too
Yeah.
late to hone that skill. It's not too late. But people have started since they were 8 lah.
Right.
You know what I mean? At what age you start piano?
4.
I started violin at 6.
Yeah.
But at that point, were we doing it like 8 hours a day? We were not.
No, yeah.
But someone out there is doing 8 hours a day already.
At this point, I also want to give some attention to people who are struggling with their jobs, right? Because I have to say we are lucky, but not everybody is like
Yep.
very satisfied with their jobs.
Yep.
Okay, so this person on Reddit, he says like he feels like he's selling part of himself when he goes to work. He pretends to be a different person at work. It's both frustrating and draining. He started this job 1 month ago, but he just has zero interest in continuing this line of work in the future. But the reason why he chose to take up this job is because it gives him the skills to be able to transfer to other industries and he can save as much as he can. He plans to do this for another 2 years and then move to a place where he's going to build a ceramic studio in his backyard and then he's going to start selling his creations. That's so nice, right?
Yeah, he has his reasons already, what? So you just have to tahan. You just have to, hold it in for 2 years, and that's fine.
And then you can move on to the next phase of your life where you can feel very satisfied with your work.
Because everything comes with a price. And everything comes at a cost. And sometimes you gotta suck it up for a bit and pay your dues before you get to enjoy it lah. Yeah.
But there are also certain people like this online user called Joshua.
Okay.
He graduated with a bachelor's degree and got hired at his first job 2 years ago and has been there ever since. While most of his colleagues sincerely find their work to be fulfilling, Joshua says, I don't really care about anything having to do with my job. I'm good at what I do, but there's just no passion being put into it. My passion is having a good life outside of work. But I'm wondering whether or not this is a sustainable satisfaction. Because if I don't care about my work, will it eventually become too monotonous?
No, I think if to you, a job is just a job and it's just a means for you to be financially stable so that you can seek fulfillment elsewhere, then okay lah. You know?
Then power to you, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
actually
I don't
true,
think
right?
at the end of the day, I don't think everyone is chasing after doing what they love.
Let's say we were doing different jobs at this point of time and we are not feeling fulfilled. What would you guys have done?
Go out, try out new things.
You mean go out and explore other jobs?
Yeah. Or maybe I'll just do like a short course somewhere, like a 1 week course, an online course, things like that, just to see if I really like it. If that 1 week course, let's say it's a 1 week course, right? And I really like it and I want to do something a bit longer, then go forth and prosper, And while doing all these explorations, I keep my day job because I need to pay my bills. I'm an adult, right? I have to pay my dues and it's fine. If it means that you have to stay up and do all this online course, then just do it lah. At the end of the day, what we want to be is a contributing member of society, a productive member of society, right? And if we do our dues and we help the people around us, we contribute in any way that we can. We just don't be a nuisance, basically.
Correct.
Then okay lah. Then that's enough.
Actually, I really agree with, exploring while keeping a day job and, doing courses, short courses, whatever they are. Because I think a lot of people say, this is my dream. This is what I would like to do. This is my dream job.
Yeah.
But it's your idea of it.
Correct.
When you've actually done it, then some people realize this is not for me at all because it's very different from what I thought it was.
Yeah. And sometimes you haven't found your passion because you don't know what you like. And so perhaps it is our duty and responsibility to give ourselves a chance to go and try out things that we might have liked when we were much younger.
Oh,
I wanted to be a doctor when I was much younger, and then suddenly it became an architect because my brother is in the design industry. So just try it out. You owe yourselves that much.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Actually, there's one framework that I'd like to share with our listeners or viewers who, if you're not feeling fulfilled in your current job, there's this framework by WSG, and that's Workforce Singapore, that can perhaps help you achieve your career success through embracing your career health. So number one, I think it's very important to know what your career goals are. Some people's career goals are to earn a lot of money, climb the corporate ladder. But other people, it might be like looking into work-life balance. So if you know what you want, work towards that. It will take away half the frustration that you're feeling. And number two, have you heard of VIPS?
No.
Values, interests, passions, and skills. Use this strategy to make intentional actions and decisions. What adds value to your life? What are your interests? What are you passionate about? What skills do you want? Figuring out what you want to achieve and setting realistic standards and goals for yourself will help you create this clear career plan and from there you can just upskill yourself. So.
Interesting.
All these frameworks and all that is really important, but it might get very daunting for someone who's not used to working with this kind of frameworks. right?
Understand.
So just break it down. You know, if on that day you just feel like talking to yourself about your passion, then just go for it lah. You don't need to do all that VIPS in one sitting.
Correct.
Right,
Correct.
Or if you feel daunted by this whole VIPS thing, then why not consider speaking to a career coach or like a volunteer career advisor?
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, you only have this much experiences. If you can, listen to someone else's,
Right,
that
yeah.
helps you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So girls, in our line of work, right? Maybe we started out wanting to do something, but along the way, things have changed. We haven't really like digressed far enough, but there's certain changes.
Yeah.
Like for me, I started out being a radio DJ, but along the way, I picked up singing, guitar, I released some music videos, I'm acting. I feel like these are steps I have to take for me to have a more fulfilling and more dynamic career. I don't know about you guys. What is it like for you, Nabila?
I think when I went to a music conservatoire, if you go to a music conservatoire, you end up becoming a performer. But I don't perform as much now.
Yeah.
I think it's also because I don't find it as fulfilling as teaching and as doing, like my mentoring programs and all that. So I think that's how my career has deviated. And I find that I really like doing all this strategic planning stuff. If a client comes up to me and say, "Can we have a performance tomorrow?" I'm not going to say yes, right? Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's unfair to the performer. So my expertise in that allows me to pick better clients and also educate clients to not give such silly requests. Yeah. So that's how my career has deviated as well. Yeah.
What about you, Zura?
I never thought I was going to end up in radio. It was never something I had considered. It was never something that had crossed my mind. So I think the deviation happened already. And then I came to terms with it. I embraced it. And then everything after that is, okay lah.
So, girls, today, if there was one thing that you can pick that you list as the most important thing about your career, what would that be? I think no career can last if you are not happy.
Correct.
Unless it involves a lot of money lah. Then in that case,
Yeah.
money makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
It still goes back to happiness.
Yeah.
So happiness is it for me. What about you guys?
Mine is creating impact. But,
Mm.
at the end of the day, to create an impact, I also need financial stability.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Which
so true.
at this point of time, because I'm a dink, double income, no kids, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still okay, Perhaps if you ask me 5 years from now, if I do have a kid, maybe my priorities will change a little
Of
bit.
course.
But right now that I am settled financially, I have a house and everything, it's about creating impact and just giving back in whatever way that I can first. Yeah.
Yeah, and people like me who don't mind having 4 kids,
You want
better
4
start
kids, ah?
saving up now. I don't mind lah. I
Is
mean,
it?
it's a gift from heaven. What if I really do have it? I'll be more than happy. Okay, happiness, creating impact. What about you, Zura?
Mine is also happiness, but I think slightly different in a way where I have to be happy and not just at work or while doing it. My job needs to be able to support my happiness outside as well, which means it needs to give me the flexibility of time. It does not keep me in the office for 24 hours, for 16 hours,
Actually, what I'm picking up, right, is actually all three of us, our points all just boil down to happiness. Like for me, creating impact, when I create an impact on someone else, I feel
Happy.
fulfilled and happy. Yeah. So I guess and our versions of happiness is all different.
Yeah.
So at this stage in your life, I feel like Nabila, you definitely have achieved some form of meaningful career success in terms of impacting other people. Do you find your career meaningful, Azura?
Meaningful to who? To me or to others?
Anything?
Am I saving the world? No lah. Am I saving lives? Also no.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, man.
You never know. I find my career very meaningful because I impact my listeners' daily lives.
Understand.
Hopefully, I make them happier after listening to my radio show.
Yeah.
And that's how I impact them.
Yeah.
So this I find like so powerful.
Understand. I think I used to not see much value in that, or I didn't realize that that was what I was doing. To me, it was like, talk all happy, But then eventually I started to realize that there are some days that all they have is that voice that they're listening to.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
correct. Yeah.
Wow.
That makes me happy lah.
Okay, let's look at, pull out and look at our whole career timeline.
Okay.
Let's each pick one moment where we felt the proudest. Huh?
Okay,
Can I pick
okay.
two? Can I pick two?
Okay.
First, was when I hosted the National Day Parade.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
But that moment is really a milestone in my whole career. I was so happy. Every Saturday, 27,000 people, and we went on for 8 Saturdays straight.
Yeah.
It's so meaningful.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And I genuinely look back at those days and I wish I had another shot at it. You know, I wish I could do this sometime down the road again. The second thing that made me the proudest was when I launched my own Chinese New Year music video.
Oh, I know you quite well eh.
Oh really?
I knew both
You guessed this too. Yeah, it's not easy making a music video in Singapore. And I'm so happy after I launched it, a lot of people come to me and they say very nice things about it. Also because they love me lah. I appreciate it. But that made me like so proud. It's like a baby is born. You know?
Yeah.
Good vibes only. Okay, what about you?
Okay, I'm going to go for 2 again.
Okay.
One is when NJ Studio was opened. Secondly, very close to yours actually, the National Day Rally. So I was mentioned by PM for Artsy. And then I could feel like my entire life just flashed in front of my eyes, you know, in that 30-second speech. It's like, wow, all my hard work, someone out there, someone at such a high level actually values whatever that I'm doing, you know, and all the hard work, all the pain that people don't see on Instagram, you know. Of course, I'm not going to take a photo, Insta story of me crying randomly, right? We don't do that on Instagram.
We don't.
Yeah, and I just felt like, oh, okay, I must have been doing something good with my life. I guess yesterday was also a high point, being able to get the boys from the welfare home to perform at SOTA. Usually you go to SOTA for SYF, right? Like if you are in choir, band and things like that. But these boys are like what, footballers, karate, God knows what, right? And for them to be performing there, being able to provide that access and also allowing their families who might not have been to an arts venue before, enjoy that whole space.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
so proud
creepy.
of you, girl.
Thank you, I cry.
Oh, just listening to your stories. Man, I can feel that. The energy.
And it's not just me, it's the whole team, it's everybody's effort. And also from the funders as well. This would not have been possible without everybody's hard work as well.
Of course, it's always teamwork.
Yes, yeah.
Proudest moment,
Hey, you.
Azurago.
If I can be happy at the end of the day, that's very, very enough for me.
Really?
Really.
But you're happy at the end of every day.
No lah, where got every day? Don't have.
Really?
Which means, right, it's a balance. I need to know that I've done a good job at work. I need to know that when I come into work, whatever problems that I have is not my listeners' problems and that I'm there to entertain and they are entertained. Many things has to come together
Correct.
for
Many
it to be
moving
correct.
parts.
Many moving parts, correct. If I'm out hosting, for example, I know that I've done a good job there, that whatever I'm supposed to do is done. These little things, then you add it up, I think that is enough for me.
I like that. Before we wrap up this episode, what are some upcoming career goals that you envision for yourself?
Well, I hope that NJ Studio will grow bigger. That I have more teachers who share the same spirit of teaching and education as me, so that we can educate the next generation of musicians or students. And then with regards to Artsy, we are hoping to see whether the program can be expanded. Because the name Artsy, it's so... it can be very diverse. I don't need to just do music. So perhaps I wanted to expand even more to other welfare homes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. All the best with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So
you,
nice.
Zura?
I would like to keep doing what I do in different shapes and forms. That encompasses everything, right? You know?
I am so proud of all our projects, and I hope that, you know, in the coming year, there will be more for people to enjoy and take away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if there were some people listening to our program and they are currently feeling very unfulfilled, they don't think they've achieved a certain level of quality in their jobs, what is one piece of advice you give to them? Now, I've been thinking about this question and I don't know if my advice sucks,
Okay.
but it is think about the money, because that keeps you going.
Yes.
If you are upset, at least at the end of every month, your paycheck comes in for you to do whatever you love with life. And then at a certain point of time when you've saved up enough, maybe you can be like the guy we mentioned just now, move to a place, you know, turn the backyard into a ceramic studio and then start selling your creations. Do whatever you love.
I understand that. I think that applies if you are already making an amount that you are happy with. But I
Correct.
think a lot of people go to work and feel like they need more. So they are already not fulfilled by the job. They're not fulfilled by the amount of money that they're making.
Yeah.
I think...
At least pick one out of the two.
Correct.
At least find a job that you're happy with or find an income that you're happy with.
Yeah.
Correct. At least maybe a couple of years ago, or when we were being brought up, we were being sold this idea that you should be loyal to a job, or that people don't like job hoppers.
Oh my gosh, that so does not apply now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that if someone looks at your CV and you're like shifting every year, every couple of years, there's a problem, But I think you need to think about how long you'll be working. You're working for 30, 40, 50 years of your life. Eventually, I think you want to be able to go to work and not drag your feet, or not wake up in the morning and curse and swear.
Sometimes we hear about how people don't like their jobs. I think that's fine. But what's most important is that they take action and do something about it.
Even saying that, let's say the three of us were unhappy today, are we going to leave tomorrow? No lah.
No, yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not saying that you need to leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's saying you plan, you do what you got to do to get by, but you start charting your steps for a happy life.
Correct, yeah. Talk to other people. Don't just listen to the three of us because we don't know who you are.
Correct.
We don't know your lives, If you have 5 kids and you suddenly leave your job, well, that's not a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just be very practical about things. You have a healthy amount of savings. You can last for the next 1 year happily with no job. Then go for it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that this episode has been insightful, encouraging, and fulfilling, to say the least. We also want to thank Workforce Singapore for collaborating with us to empower Singaporeans and create conversations on managing our personal career growth and success. If you're feeling a little stuck in your job and you're lacking some sense of purpose, make sure you check out wsg.gov.sg for more information on career help. Also, follow us on Instagram at itsclarity.com.
That's right. You can listen to us on Spotify, Me Less, and Apple Podcasts, turn on notifications.
Also, check us out on YouTube. We have the visuals version of the podcast, every week whenever we publish new episode. And today, thank you to the beautiful Nabila for joining us on this
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Oh, this was great. She's going to marry a white guy and never come back to Singapore.
That's the comment you got.
That's a comment that I got. Okay, no, I married a Malay guy.
Yes. You met him on a day that we did a show together.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yes.